Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. Just see Mel talking about Emma in the chat there. Everyone, a lot of people complain about Emma's screech, but I think that intro, I've said it before, but I didn't make it, guys. Someone made it for me, but I think it's timeless. Absolutely timeless. So yeah, it's part of the show now. It'll be there, and you just got to put up with Emma. But mate, isn't this great to watch? We have the Australians in absolute panic mode, guys. They don't want nothing to do with Trump. It's all out assault on him. He's going great over there. There's some stuff me and Cazz are going to show you tonight, because guys, we've told you this is a disinformation war, right? These guys are in absolute panic mode. Okay. Trump's removed actually 10,000, right? 10K from the military, all right? DEI shit. Okay, so the job's on, guys, all right? It is really happening. We're seeing a lot of great stuff happen. Now, where this is all taking us, God only knows, and I say that as God only knows, right? But it's taking us in a direction that we've all wanted to see, guys, right? And that is, going forward. Okay, so a couple of things that we got up here while Cazz is just sorting out. Shock Aussie move on Trump. Green Senator Nick McKim wrote to Senator President Sue Lyons, which I sent to Cazz. I don't know if we've got on the show tonight on Tuesday, saying the minor party will call on the Senate debate and vote stop Trump-style politics coming to Australia. They are absolutely beside themselves, guys. Well done. All right, well done. And this is why they should be beside himself. Troy Selwood, if none of you know, former Brisbane Lions, 40-year-old guys, just passed away. Okay, Sam Kerr. I wasn't going to talk about that because I don't believe it really needs any. She's a spoiled little brat as far as I can see. Australian shares give up gains as Trump tariffs start. Well, Trump's just going to even the board here, guys. All right. And, sometimes you got to do some stuff that, you just have to do. It's like I was on a space today in the pond and they were talking about TikTok and how the government shouldn't be involved in it and this, that, and the other. And, at this present time in history where we are, I don't think it matters too much whether government's involved in it or not. And the simple reason being is we need every platform that we can get to be out there exposing the bullshit that we've got our hands on. You know what I mean? So to me, if Trump's got to jump in and do something and, like get hold of TikTok and do whatever's got to be done to keep it accessible and to keep it doing what it's doing, which is educating, I'm all for it, man. I don't really care what happens, I really don't. Okay. Okay. So now we've got the Jewish preschools in on it, guys. All right. They're playing now. Ugly world comes to Sydney. Parents begin cancelling applications for Jewish preschools. And this is because they're not going to be, they're vulnerable. All right. And yeah, they're anti-Semitic threats. So again, this is their propaganda machine, guys. All right. It is up and running. Why is it up and running? Because we, right, and I say we, have done an absolutely brilliant job. All right. And our government has done a terrible job. And that's why the Australians are feeling white hot anger towards the Labor government and Albanese. I tagged Albanese in something today, just saying to him, mate, are you kidding? I think it was someone else there too. But yeah, Albo is just like, he's off his jobs. That's all I can say, guys. But from what I see and what I hear, being on some spaces and talking to some people in America and that, they're pretty confident that we're going to ride a rough wave for a little while. But yeah, from there on, guys, it's going to, as Trump does what he has to do, all right, the ramifications will come our way. But there's going to be a little bit of time in that. And yeah, as I say, me and Cazz have different ideas on that. But that's good. Everyone's got a different idea and everyone's welcome to it, man. Because who the only one person who really knows how the plan's going to play out is the good Lord. And that's it. Bottom line, we can all do our assessments and everything else and see what we think. And we're usually pretty right. Okay. But yeah, for the end game, guys, it's all in his hands, eh? All right. Okay, Cazz, when you're ready, darling.
All right. Well, the difference between us is that we're not trying to deceive people. We don't always get it right, but we're trying to get it right. We're not trying to basically deceive people. But you're absolutely 100% correct about it. Now listen to this. This is Barbara Pocock, very concerned about Trumpism.
Senator Cash told us that Peter Dutton will take, quote, exactly the same attitude as President Trump if he gets to be PM.
No, he won't.
What a chilling prospect. Donald Trump has appointed Nazi-saluting billionaire Elon Musk to take a hatchet to public services. He started by shutting down with immediate effect the US Agency for International Aid. I've had development experts in my office today telling me that this means today kids in Timor aren't getting a breakfast. Women across the Pacific have lost access to reproductive health care. That's Trump, that's Doge, and that's Musk at work. So,
you're gagging me. Kids in Timor aren't getting their breakfast.
Clearly, she is extremely concerned, and they need to be extremely concerned because, as we've seen with the ramifications of what's coming out, it is it's not unbelievable. We've been talking about this stuff for a long time.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Look, here's this man breaking down what's been going on.
The Department of Treasury has denied 0 requests for payment. You understand how insane that is? That in more than 2 decades, anytime a government official or a bureaucrat wanted the Treasury to pay for something, 100% of the time they paid. Now, we didn't know any of this until Doge took a look. And while they were investigating, they obviously wanted to interview and get the records from the highest ranking official. And the highest ranking official at the Department of the Treasury was a man named David Lebrick. And instead of doing the interview and providing the records, this dude resigned. He literally gave up his chance at a government pension just so he didn't have to answer any questions from Doge. Now, what were some of these approved payments that they were going to ask him about? Well, one of the first ones they were going to ask him about is why the Pentagon spends $600 million a year on sushi. And that's not even in like the top 50 of worst expenditures. Did you know that the IRS is spending $230,000 a month on cinnamon roast K-cups for their headquarters? This is a headquarters building where 92% of the employees are working from home. 92 out of every 100 employees in that office are home, yet they are still spending $230,000 per month on just cinnamon K-cups from Starbucks. Oh, and those little plastic coffee cups? Yeah, they were spending $1,280 per cup. $1,280 per little plastic cup. Yeah, you know what? We'll just keep pretending that we don't need to investigate our government expenditures. Or we'll pretend it's normal that the Department of the Treasury hasn't denied a request for payment in 22 years. Yeah, just stick your head in the sand. That'll make it better.
The things that it's coming out with, though, are incredible. You have...
And in case you don't know, people, I just give them the title of US aid, Cazz, because it's got nothing to do with aid, all right? It is a money laundering NGO system, and the name of it is, right, the US Agency for International Development. International development, guys. You know, this is what they hide under their acronyms.
It funneled $15 billion to Syria to overthrow Assad. Okay, then you've got this is by Syrian Girl. She said that US aid sent Al Qaeda in Syria $63 million and labeled it miscellaneous. You have how US aid sponsored biolabs in Ukraine, which is, remember, the General Kirillov. He actually said that before he was died. Before he was died. That's probably more true. Before he died.
Before he died,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, probably a Freudian slip there. Now, Russia dropped the hammer on US aid. Russia knew about the US aid's criminal nature long before Elon Musk. Now, back in 2012, Russia banned them from operating in the country, and so what they would do is they were going in and they would set up an employment a factory to work in. People would come there and then they basically tell the factory workers, oh, you know, this government's corrupt, blah, 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 really incite the workers. Now, remember, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a musical group and they were called Pussy Riot. Pussy Riot, remember, Putin banned them some 10 years ago because he said they were CIA assets. So it's very interesting because that's another way that they do it. But the list of expenditure, just outrageous expenditure, goes on. I don't know if you can read this, but they spent $2 million on a program called the Initiative to Castrate Icelandic Boys.
Unbelievable.
It's outrageous. Like, there are 26,500 NGOs in Bosnia, 33,000 in Serbia. It's also come out now, you know how much problems Ireland's having at the moment? Over 30,000 NGOs are currently operating in Ireland. You also have, it all ties in though, because Barack Obama's mother was employed by USAID. This is way back when. And she's always been accused of being a CIA asset because both lots of grandparents were.
Yeah, look, it's just it's a very intertwined and they thought they'd never get caught, Cazz. You're kidding yourself, man. Like,
oh, I agree. But like, look at this. Now they wanted $3 million was used to see how fast shrimp can run on a treadmill. Now, one of the other things that's very interesting here, shrimp, yeah, I know. Well, you've also got this. So now, does everyone
come up with that one? That's gold. Now that guy needs an award. That's gold.
Well, yeah, but like the crazy part about it is now Tori says, who we've had on the show, she does a lot of really great investigative work. Now, media matters. So what's happening at the moment is muckrackers. They are taking Musk, Trump, Ramaswamy, Doge, and OMB to court with a filing, and they're seeking an injunction to stop Doge. Now, muckrackers is actually owned, apparently, according to Tori says, by Media Matters. Now, remember, Media Matters was the partner, the guy who owns that, Media Matters, was the partner of the guy who owns the pizza place, who was caught up in Pizzagate.
With Podesta.
Yeah. So the name slips me at the moment. You've also got there, this is interesting because he's actually succinctly put it. So he said, here's how the grift works. Okay, you want taxpayer dollars from the government, be a serial grifter like Bill Kristol, who's basically come out and said, oh, no, we can't have them. Okay, create an institute defending democracy. USA then gives you the money to defend democracy. You spend a portion of what they gave you on kickbacks to the Democratic campaign and unpaid PR, and push their agenda domestically or internationally. Pay yourself a salary through the institute and profit. You've also got it's always been there. It's just now we can prove it.
Now we can prove it. Yeah, we've got it all. Yeah,
that's right.
We thought we had plenty, and now look what we're getting. Wow.
Well, Lukashenko, he said we'll massacre all the scum that have been you've been financing. Oh, you're upset. And he was talking about USA Aid and their funded organisations. So other countries have known what's been going on. So, but it's just the amount of stuff that's just coming out at the moment, like with Adam Schiff. So remember Adam Schiff? So John Ratcliffe, who's the current director of the CIA, he has said that Adam Schiff not once, not twice, but 3 times attempted to overthrow a sitting president of the United States. So, and he said the person who planted the fake evidence shouldn't be the one ruling on the admissibility of the fake evidence. So no wonder they are all running for cover, because like it's just crazy.
Schiff's got stuff coming out on him. I got stuff here in me for you. I've sent over, I think, Cazz on Schiff, mate. He's under investigation, and yeah, it's all happening.
It is all happening. So it's pretty interesting, but it also implicates Albert Bourla, who was given through Pfizer. He was given money from USAID. So it's just like it's amazing. It's absolutely.
And you don't, if you don't know how big this is, guys, this is who's been funding that. This is where the NGO money's come from. And what do the NGOs do? Then they're the lobbyists in the background. Okay, working the lobbyist scene. Yeah,
they destabilize countries, because what they do is they go in and they find people who, because there's always people that are annoyed about something, and they basically finance them to start to act up, and of course then they get a following. Now Chucky Schumer, he's weighed into it, and Chaos Coordinator, whose Tory says she's basically shut him down. He says if the Treasury does not remove Doge's access to the Treasury payments systems at once, Congress must act immediately. And then she's actually said, Treasury won't save you. I have banking from the Caribbean. Get your affairs in order, Penguin. So, and then you had this situation where they're actually calling for the, they had, I think, had they doxed them? I'm not sure, but they'd identified who Doge's henchmen were, and they're asking for them to be offed. So it is all on. You can actually see, and this is going to spill over into Australia, because there are going to be people that are going to be mentioned here. Yep. So we are in for a wild ride. All right,
guys. It's and it's going to ramp up on the streets. Okay, it's going to ramp up everywhere. Keep your head on a swivel. All right, the poisoning's going to ramp up. All right, they are mighty pissed, and nothing's changing in the near future, guys. All right, except. The world's going to be put on notice. The things that are going to change is the exposure is going to be there in America, full on.
We've discussed the confessions of an economic hitman before, because what they do is they identify the country's resources, that they go in, they give them a loan that they can't afford to pay back. Then what they do is they supply the loan goes back to these companies to build the infrastructure, and then when the country can't basically pay it back, then they come in and they seize the assets, so the resources. So it's how business is being done. So now we want to
Zionists are doubling down, Philip. I totally agree with you, mate. The Zionists are doubling down, bro. They're tripling down, quadrupling down. You got nothing else to do.
So now let's have a look at this one here. It also announced the Sovereign Wealth Fund.
The extraordinary size and scale of the U.S. government and the business it does with companies should create value for American citizens. If we are going to buy 2 billion COVID vaccines, maybe we should have some warrants and some equity in these companies and have that grow for the help of the American people. So I bring all these things together. I think Scott and I will create an amazing sovereign wealth fund for you, sir.
All right, everyone's freaking out. Okay, so first things, Dave, what do you notice?
Well, that looks like Perry Studios, guys. All right, see the car in the window on the left-hand side. Okay, we've had this same sort of shot with the car there from Perry Studios once before in the early piece, 3 years ago or so, I'd say, to guess. All right.
Yeah, that was under the Biden admin.
Yeah,
so we're not so sure.
You're dead right. The same shot, Caz. So again, I think we're expecting, guys, expect nefarious deeds. Sorry, because this is all they've got left. All right, they're being exposed. They've got to go for everything, you know. And yeah, I do not believe that's a real thing. I just don't, you know. So
it's interesting though, isn't it? We'll just keep an eye on it, you know, because there is disinformation coming out everywhere. So, all right, look, we've got a new friend of the show, so let us bring them on. They are AuraGuard, and they provide products against EMP.
Now it's time for Friends of the Show.
This week's Friends of the Show is AuraGuard, a small family-owned business based in Sydney. AuraGuard specialise in EMF protective clothing to help reduce exposure. They sell beanies, caps, grounding mats and Faraday pouches. Find them at auraguard.com.au.
Well done, guys. Very well needed. Very well needed at this present time, guys. I'm trying to let you know what sort of actual, like, you know, full-on frequency war we are under. Okay, and someone made a good comment about me, you know what I mean? And yeah, look, you know, I'm looking into frequency stuff too, guys, all right? Because, you know, it's a hard act out there, all right? They've got us on the back foot. Okay, doesn't matter how fit and healthy you are, you know, and I am, all right? I'm still suffering, and I'm still suffering from what? Something the cabal's, you know, sort of, you know, given me. All right. So again, this EMF frequency and this unbalancing our bodies with the atmosphere that we are living in, whilst we are full of poisons, we are eating the wrong foods, we are not doing the right thing, we're not well enough hydrated, this, that, the other. Okay. And we've got to get it together. All right. Because we got to endure, guys. All right. But this is serious shit. Yeah. That's a great company. Well done.
Now, one of our show contributors, Robin Wright I'll figure it out in a minute. Now, she's actually found this man and interviewed him, and he is awesome. Have a look at this.
Port Macquarie Courthouse here. There we go. Port Macquarie Courthouse. It's not a courthouse, of course. It's a fraud house. And here are some of the fraudsters here. They've just turned up. This one here, he's turned up to commit his fraud today. Where are the charges for the murders and injuries?
Oh, so how are you today?
Where are the charges for the people murdered and injured? Or you only do charges for red light cameras? Is that what it is? Where are the charges for the people who've been murdered and injured by the COVID-19 vaccines?
Would you like to talk to me sensibly, sir? I just got out of a car.
Just a simple yes. We've got them in the works. We're working on it. Have you got the charges in the works for people who are dead and injured?
I've got court today, mate. I'm just going to go.
All right, good work. Now his name is Steve, and Robin Wright has put this interview together of him.
Steve, Steve, I watched a couple of your videos through the week. Would you have a message that you'd like to share to people?
Sure. I guess the main thing is, and something we learnt tonight, is that we're important, that we're not slaves, and we shouldn't be treated like slaves. And the system, the magistrates, the police, the government that's currently operating in this country thinks we are slaves. And we must remember whenever we're dealing with them that they are a fraud. They have no evidence of jurisdiction. They have no authority over anyone. They just believe they do. And so obviously you don't want to harm anyone or steal from them. But apart from that, all their statutes and acts, they're all just a complete fraud. And as far as the injection's concerned, which is a personal crusade of mine, the mRNA injections, the arrests have to be made for people who knowingly injected poison into millions of Australians. They have to be made, and they will be made soon. So
we all want to see that, don't we?
That will be happening soon, and it has to happen.
Yeah. Steve, what's your YouTube if people want to jump on?
My YouTube is 3 Steve's Films. It's basically one word, the number 3 Steve's Films in one word. But you can also look on YouTube, if you search for Perth lockdown, you get some of my videos there. But basically, we need to stop these mRNA injections that they're still doing. And we need to bring the people that knowingly had the data that people were being injured and killed when it rolled out, and still mandated it for most of Australia after that fact. And there's a lot of them, and they all need to be put in prison.
Yeah.
And we're going to make sure that happens.
Yeah, hear. Thanks, Steve.
Well done.
What a great interview. Well done, Robin, and well done, Steve. Good on you.
Excellent. That's exactly, guys, that's what we need to go out. We need to go out and ask the question. Okay? They've all been served. Okay? So what are you doing about it? You know? A lady put, a lot of work into putting a documentary together so that we had the evidence to go out there and put these guys on notice politely, right? But we got the evidence to put them on notice. So this is what we need to do, guys. All right. Well done, Steve. Thank you very much.
That's it. I was just going to drop his link in there, but I can't because I've just shut it accidentally. Okay. Anyway, it happens sometimes. Look, you can see that they're on the front run, and now their latest thing is jumping up and down. They need to protect the Jews, okay? And they're going to do that by legislating against us and taking our free speech, so we can't speak against them.
This little bit of time we have is letting the Jewish community know, without all these amendments, we have your back. We have your back. You can go and criticise this side and you can do whatever. That was not the point of this. It's sharing the love with the Jewish community, saying, hey, we're hearing you. We're hearing you. And what we have done and what we haven't done doesn't matter. What matters is this, is that we have your back. We have your back, and that shouldn't come down to politics. It shouldn't come down to amendments.
Jewish community, I feel sorry for you. With her on your side, honestly. I mean...
Yeah, I got a big piss off for you, Lambie. Just get out of what you don't understand. If you don't know about it and you don't know the history of it and you don't know what the F's going on out there, don't talk on it. Just shut your friggin' mouth because you're uneducated fucking idiot.
And the reason why they are using this and making a big deal about it, and I'm very suspicious about who's actually targeting them as well, is because of these reports.
1.85% today of matters in the
District Court of South Australia is related
District
to the
Court of South Australia child abuse. Last
year, I think it was November, it was the highest day last year was 41.2 or 42.1%. One of the two in court that day was rated child sexual abuse. And the leading story on the news that night was a politician trying to get a Hungry Jack's restaurant banned from being built within a kilometre of a school because, fast food, bad.
Hey, fast food.
Yeah, no, but this is the thing, is if people knew how prevalent the child abuse problem is in Australia, they'd be up in arms. But we don't know. And instead they're just focusing on the Jewish community being violated, and nobody wants them being violated, okay? So, but the thing is that nobody wants it. So if anybody's out there and they're actually spray painting, I don't think it is. I actually don't. I'm very suspicious of who's actually doing it.
We're too smart to fall into their bullshit traps, Cazza.
Oh, exactly.
It's all propaganda and bullshit, mate. They set everything up.
We have seen that Jewish woman who dressed up at the Palestinian rally and put curses on Jewish people. We have seen also, on the same boat, we've seen that lady who, the whole Ride With Me movement, and it was a load of shit, okay? And she made it up. and she was a Muslim woman. Okay,
Yeah.
people like attention or self-inflicted wounds. They're called for
Now
attention.
we've got
or
their
whatever.
poor children. They don't want to enroll them at preschool because of anti-Semitism, and it's just not fair. And they just go, "Oh, what are they going to do if they can't get their kids in their schools?"
Yeah, but they need to silence this because look at this. This is ridiculous. Okay, so this is by Australian Patriot. He puts out some really good stuff. How worse we are. How are we worse off under Albo? 3.7 million households going hungry. 3 million more close to homeless. The highest number of homeless ever. 58% of low-income homes in rental stress, and only 0.7% of homes in Australia for rent. Okay, now we actually know of a rental 100 kilometres north of Tamworth, if anyone is looking or if anyone is interested. Now, a lady put that
any freedom fighters, that is, guys. All right, there is a property up there that some people are looking to rent out. So if you want to get in touch with us, if there's a group of people that would like to do that, there you go. There's an opportunity.
Yeah. Now, the thing about this is a lady put under there that she'd been caring for her mother and she's returning to the workforce. I think it was under this one. Maybe it was under Albo's. And she applied for a receptionist job. And there were over 1,200 other applicants. So
and I bet you an Indian or someone got it that can't talk English and has no qualifications. I'll bet you.
Well, they do employ their own. They pretty much do employ their own. So,
it's gone too far. It's gone way too far, Caz. We've been saying it for a long time. But we were talking about what was coming, and we were trying to warn people about how far this is going to go if you keep letting it go. And, except for a small band, obviously, they've let it go. People have just let it go. Guys, it's time to do what Steve from Western Australia just done, all right? It's time to grow some fucking balls, all right, and go and put these pricks on notice, man. Excuse my French, but this is, they have no jurisdiction. You know it. So where's the people from going back to school, right? Where's the 5 parents from each school that can form a conglomerate of 40 people to go to council with some power? Where are yous? You got to do it, guys. Because they're just going to keep coming at you and taking more and more off you. All right? Shut down your council meeting so you can't get in there. Go on, Caz.
Yeah. Well, that's it, and you've got these situations. So this is a video and it shows Prime Minister Anthony Albanese along with Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews, and they were guests at a Toorak mansion hosted by Rupinder Brar, a wealthy Indian businessman, and is associated with Berkeley International College, an institution that was deregistered for significant non-compliance following an investigation by the Australian Skills Quality Authority. Now, that was November 12th last year. Yep. Now they're actually he's just announced that they're going to have reciprocal education.
Yep.
Yep.
And they're going to fund it. We're going to fund it. You're going to fund it.
It's just their behaviour is just outrageous, it's just unbelievably outrageous. And you can see why our government is in panic mode, because you have now got the Rupert Lowe of the Reform Party in the UK, and he's talking about deportation.
Of young working class white girls by mainly Pakistani men on an industrial scale. That is a rotting stain on our country's history. I do not say this lightly, but it makes me ashamed to be British. We failed those girls, and heads must roll. I want deportations, not just for the rapists, but also the family members who are aware of their heinous crimes. If that results in tens of thousands of deportations, then that is what must happen. I want prosecutions for anyone in any position of authority who knew about these savages and did nothing, or even worse, concealed their crimes. Not just their dismissal, criminal prosecutions must follow. Many of these monsters have even been released back into the same communities where the children they raped reside. Words appropriate on this stage cannot adequately describe what I think of these beasts. I don't want thoughts and prayers from government, I want action. Deportations of foreign nationals who have come to our country and committed serious crimes against the British people. deportations of those arriving in our country illegally. Send a message. If you come here without permission, you will not stay under any circumstance.
Very interesting that he has come out against that now, because Bukele has offered to take the American criminals. Now, Bukele, he had a lot of success. And we'll play that in a minute, but I've just got to find this because there's so much news. I got to fit it into, like,
Yes.
let me just do. Yeah, no. So there it is. There. All right. So now he's the president of El Salvador. So and he has. Oh, hang on.
He'll take him in. He'll rule him with an iron fist, Caz.
Well, his jails are set up so that they are very well equipped to be able to manage them, because they were dealing with MS-13, as you'll see in a minute. So he's offered the United States of America the opportunity to outsource its prison thing. Yeah, so for a small exchange fee. Now, what's interesting also about him is that he actually gave an interview, and he actually identified that MS-13 was satanic.
13 is one of the major gangs.
And they are satanic also.
That was my question. So I hope you will explain it, because very little has been written in the West about this.
They're satanic, yes.
But actually, literally, can you explain?
MS-13 started in Los Angeles in the U.S. But as the organization grew, they became satanic. They started doing satanic rituals. I don't know exactly when that started, but it was well documented.
Yes.
In our arrest, we even found altars and things like that.
Yes, I've seen them. So human sacrifice was a part. So that's almost never described in English language press as clearly as you just described it.
No, which is weird.
Well, you sort of wonder why.
Yeah.
If there's a spiritual component that's driving it, why not just say so?
Yes.
But I guess my point is, you saw it as that.
Yes, of course. There's a spiritual war and there's a physical war. If you win the spiritual war, it will reflect into the physical. I think our victory was because we won the spiritual war.
That's it. None, Sharon? None.
No. What do you need? A qualification? You need a piece of paper.
None. So don't watch.
They're the people that have got us into trouble. The people with the pieces of paper that were, I had a minister ring me today. Actually, very funny, and I put it straight on him, man. All right, and I love the guy. All right, but he's doing Mum's funeral, But he said to me, you got to remember that, I've done all this training. I said, Peter, hang on, sorry. I said, hey, bro, it's like this. I said, your training was indoctrination. And all I hope is that you broke free from the indoctrination when you stepped into your own ministry. Because if you are still within the bounds of the indoctrination that you got at the theological college, sorry, bro, you're a problem, And their view is, this is interesting, guys, because I said, okay, I spoke about some things, and it was to do with COVID and the devil and this, that, and the other, and the devil's juice. And he's gone, why would you why would you want to concentrate on the dark side? And I said, who concentrates on the dark side? But I can tell you something. If you're going to sit back and expect God to do all the work for you, you're in a spiritual war, man, and that ain't going to work. So God's got his church together now, and we are here to expose, like he did, right, the things that were wrong on the earth. So, but what these people think is that if you don't give it any attention, well, no. All right, you don't give it any attention and you're complicit. All right, God said stand up. God said protect the children, right? God said protect humanity. But this is the indoctrination that we get from theological, and I'm not having a go at this guy, right? Everyone's got their own beliefs, etc. But this is a theological range, guys. Indoctrination, like I was talking on that video to Mum. They didn't educate me at school. They tried to indoctrinate me, and that's why I got the shits, and I didn't deal with it, and I wouldn't listen. Righto.
All right, so you've got the tariffs are the latest thing. So it's actually worked out. So both Canada and Mexico have agreed to reinforce their borders to combat the influx of fentanyl. So that is good. However, China has decided that China's going to impose 15% tariffs on United States coal and liquefied natural gas, and impose 10% tariff on oil. and
Well,
agricultural
they
machinery.
need to look at the trains, Caz, because I can guarantee you that the fentanyl is now being brought in by rail. I know that for a fact. All right, from talking to pretty high people on Twitter
Well,
and
it
that.
could be. And Tory says, as always said, it's coming in from the north anyway. It's most of it actually is being made in there. Now, it's really funny that he should put that because Treasurer Jim Chalmers talks down the prospect of US Australian trade war retaliation. Oh, it's not our preference. Now, it's not your preference, but I'm wondering how much sway China has over you, because the thing is that if China imposes these tariffs, they can easily come to Australia because we've got heaps of that sort of stuff. And we, being Australia's being the United States' biggest ally, then I would imagine that we could actually do quite well out of it. So why is he saying that? I would say, my guess, this is my question. My question is, how much hold does China have over Australia if that doesn't happen? If we also follow into a trade war because of some of our stupid decisions made by our politicians.
Okay, that's a good conversation point, Kaz. And I think that brings us to economic sanctions that will be laid on. I think that Trump's not going to sit back and watch our countries go into free fall. I think he'll jump in, and he'll sanction. You know what I mean? Like, this is all coming to a head, guys. This is going to go further than what Australia is or what Great Britain is. Okay, this is it's a worldwide sting. All right, and a lot of people are involved. So, I do believe that. Yeah, that's sort of, it will come to play, Kaz. It will certainly come to play.
Okay, now we've got a couple of other really interesting things. We've got the White House, green as go. But also, Chris Quaglin, he has spoken on Twitter and he said 4 freaking years. They moved me to 8 prisons. I lost over 60 pounds because they didn't feed me gluten-free food. They tortured me, asked me to cooperate for 3 years. They said I'd go home instantly. All I had to do was sell my soul and I refused. So here's one of the J6s.
Just evil. Absolutely evil, man. The stories are coming out there and getting into the public too about the J6s. Yeah, we've had a couple of J6 or one J6 are knocked off, guys. All right, they're not playing. It's not a game. It's not a dress rehearsal.
No, that's right. Now, also some really big news. Now, some years ago, Cuba invented a vaccine for lung cancer. And it was very successful, but of course it was never brought to the West because they want to use their own pharmaceuticals. So now Russia has invented a cancer vaccine and it shatters tumours by 80%. So
I wish they wouldn't call it a vaccine. I wish they'd call it a cancer therapy or something, because as soon as you hear the word vaccine, it's but they're more. You need to look into that more.
I agree. So, but it is pretty. It's good news if it works. So, anyway,
good news. The good news is God gave you a body, all right, and it will heal itself if you work it out, guys. All right. So that's the good news. Maybe it needs a little bit of help in this day and age, and I do believe it does because of what is going on. But yeah, I think God created a brilliant operating system. All right, that was foolproof. These fuckers just got in the way and started manipulating it with their CRISPR technology, etc.
We're being taken out by conspiracy guru lies. So, Dave, if you want to wrap up and close the show, that'd be great.
All right. Well, like I say, this could be a dress rehearsal in one part of this movie, guys. All right, and we're about to go out on a song that hang around and listen to it, guys. It's absolutely brilliant. All right, about just what happens and how they've lied to us and all the crap. But this is not a dress rehearsal, guys. All right, this is your spiritual war, your fight, all right, to be your part, all right, in what God has called together here. Okay, and as you can see, God has called it together. Why? Because you are seeing every night, all right, exactly what is going on and how much deeper this is getting and how much further. And we all knew, we knew this is old news to us. Okay, we knew this. We knew that Fauci was bloody Mother Teresa's son. We knew all this shit friggin' years and years ago. But now, guess what? It's all coming out. You know, we got duped on 9/11, most of us, you know, because why? Why did I get duped on 9/11? Because I was friggin' lazy, man. I couldn't be bothered researching it back then. Nah, government wouldn't do that. Fucking hell, kidding me? So, you know, I'm complicit. We're all complicit, but now we're not. All right. And I just want to say to you, this is not a dress rehearsal, guys. This is the time to go out and start asking these police stations, attorney generals, everyone that was served, go to our website, get the public, what do you call that thing? The public media release. All right. Have a look who it was served to, and let's go. Peacefully and lovingly, let's go and ask the question. We want our event numbers. We want this investigated. It is a criminal act. All right, without all the rest of the bullshit, you know what I mean? But maybe we can get them to investigate one. We can maybe get them to investigate the Lima Agreement. Who knows? But we got to start somewhere, guys, and we've been given a great in, a really great in. All right, so thanks again to everyone. Thanks to Steve in Western Australia. Inspiration. That's what we need to do, guys. All right, simply put them on notice. Okay, thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. The man with the suit and the tie looks me dead in the eye, and he lies. Yeah, he lies. Then the woman with the makeup and the blouse beams right into my house, and she lies. Yeah, she lies. The man wants me to be scared. The man making me see red, 'cause I know that he lies. Yeah, he lies. Then the woman with the beautiful eyes is no longer beautiful, because I realize that she lies. Yeah, she lies. Well, you ain't welcome round here no more. Been down this road too many times before. This the last time you ever cast your spell. You fooled me once, so shame on you. Won't fool me twice, 'cause I see right through the oh so many lies you always tell. From the north to the east, to the west to the south, you cover much ground with your filthy mouth and your lies. Yeah, your lies. You lie so much you believe yourself. The day you tell the truth will be a cold day in hell. I despise all those lies. You ain't welcome round here no more. Been down this road too many times before. This the last time you ever cast your spell. You fooled me once, so shame on you. Won't fool me twice, 'cause I see right through the oh so many lies you always tell. People see what you do with your plastic smiles and your auto cues and those lies. Yeah, those lies. How much longer can you hide the truth? When this lion wakes, it's gonna eat you and your lies. Yeah, your lies. Well, you ain't welcome round here no more. Been down this road too many times before. This the last time you ever cast your spell. You fooled me once, so shame on you. Won't fool me twice, 'cause I see right through the so many lies you always tell. The man with the suit and the tie looks me right dead in the eye, and he lies. Yeah, he lies.